this edition of Mountain Bike Chronicles, we are in Canada for the fourth stop of the UCI Downhill World Cup. Mont-Sainte-Anne is one of the toughest races on the tour. Sam Hill of Australia has positive memories of this place. 2010 saw him become world champion for the third time here in Quebec. Mountain bike manufacturing is an arduous and labor-intensive process. All this and much more on Mountain Bike Chronicles. For Sam Hill, riding on two wheels away from competition helps him to relax.
I don't know, when I ride my mountain bike or my motorbike, it's something that I enjoy so much, and it doesn't matter how much stress you've got going on in your life. It kind of seems like everything goes away for a while and puts you in a good place. I grew up always on bikes, started racing motocross when I was young and then BMX for a couple of years, and then my older brother and his friends got into mountain biking when I was about 12, and yeah, I went to a local dual slalom race and watched it, and after that I went and bought a mountain bike, and I'd watch all the videos and read the magazines and thought it was the coolest sport out there.
Sam has a World Cup record to be proud of. He has won 3 World Championship titles and 2 World Cup victories in his career so far.
My latest World's jersey, waiting to get framed, like all the others in here. My dad usually does it for me when he's working late at night. So I'm gonna wait till he gets back and look like them ones. It's my little museum in here. I've got there my other world's medals.
Sam's achievements make him one of the most respected mountain bike riders today. Mont-Sainte-Anne, Quebec. This is the venue for the 4th race in the downhill UCI calendar. In summer, this famous ski resort traditionally invites the downhill mountain bike elite to its slopes. The idyllic setting is deceptive, as it hosts one of the fastest tracks on the tour.
So the track here, they've gone to more like straightforward, wide open, and for the viewers at home it might look easy, but when you're going at that speed, everything's coming up really quick. Just a small rock in the grass can sort of bump you offline.
Every year, falls occur at high speeds. In the end, however, all riders must deal with their fears. As a fan of high speed, Brooke McDonald of New Zealand starts explosively and takes a lot of momentum in the winding passages. He masters the jumps perfectly. For the time being, he is ahead. Even in the technically demanding parts, he races a good line. In the lower part, he loses some power but makes it up to post an impressive time. The other riders have now been warned. This venue is close to one particular Australian's heart.
Yeah, here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. This is actually where I first ever raced a World Cup race back in 2001. Ever since then I've loved this place and always had pretty good results. I've won here a couple times, won the World Championship in 2010 after coming back from one of my shoulder injuries.
In 2010, Sam came into the event carrying a shoulder injury.
I've put in a lot of work with my coach and my trainer and just tried to be as ready and as strong as I could be. And my shoulder still wasn't very good, so I had to kind of figure out how many runs I'd do in practice to try and be fast on the track and try and save some strength in my shoulder.
Sam, who also suffered at the beginning of the year from a knee injury, put all his fighting spirit in this deciding run and surprised everyone by winning.
Still don't really know how I managed to win and pull it off, but I think that's what made it so special and yeah, so emotional for me. That was the last time I raced here, and yeah, looking forward to trying to repeat tomorrow and try to get another win.
In Mont-Sainte-Anne, the fans are eagerly awaiting the top riders. the best in the business are ready to roll. Sam Hill would like to build on his success here and accordingly sets off. In the upper part, he flies over the jumps and is fast in the technical sections. The lead continues to grow and he will be tough to beat after setting the fastest time.
Feels good to be up here, but there's a few more fast guys to come, so I won't get too excited just yet.
G. Atherton is all over Sam's time. The 2008 world champion takes an even tighter line and increases his speed with more momentum in the technical sections. At the finish line, he is half a second faster, and Sam must relinquish the lead.
Trying to get their bike as far to the right.
The many years on the World Cup circuit create increasing homesickness for Sam.
It's hard to be away from home, and I guess like your close friends and your family and my girlfriend and now my little son. And I know this year I've been going home more frequently in between races. West Australia, where I've grown up, it's my favourite place in the world. It's not a lot of chaos like some other places in the world where everything's high speed, paced, and there's no place like home, and that's what it comes down to really. Nice set of handlebars and motorbike. Riding my motorbike is something I grew up doing. I used to race when I was younger. At the end of the downhill season, it's nice to be able to put the mountain bikes away and pull my motorbike out and ride that a few times a week. We're in some place called Dongara. It's like 3 hours north of here. And it's pretty much the first motocross race this year. I don't know if I'll still be racing World Cups in 10 years' time. Definitely, I'll still be riding the bike. Don't know what else I'll be doing, but I'll definitely be something with 2 wheels in my life.
Mountain bike frames have the high standards of stability and lightness. These elements make the production, especially the welding, a difficult task.
The production of a bicycle frame is of course very complex and lengthy. The prefabrication is very important for the welding process. If you make mistakes here, the welding process will not be successful. This means that the cutting process, the whole deburring, all drilling operations, the entire pre-production is extremely important for a good weld. The problematic parts of a bicycle are located precisely where the highest pressure occurs, at the ends of the tubes where the connection points are. And for aluminum itself, especially to high-quality applications, the wig welding is the only process possible. Wig is the only method where a tungsten electrode does not burn off.
The wig welding process allows to compensate for the smallest differences in the components by holding in one hand the tungsten electrode and in the other hand the filler material. It can individually be adapted to the weld.
This makes it impossible to weld using a robot that always starts from the same parameters. The parts of the frame are positioned exactly in the device. Here the geometry of the frame is created. The welder then attaches together with the same process the components. He can then remove the frame from the jig and weld it together in an ideal position. The welders must recognize all the differences during welding and adjust for the current, the speed, and add more or less material. Only in this way can I weld a good product that can withstand the toughest conditions for racing in the mountain bike sport.
In Mont-Sainte-Anne, the last riders are taking their places at the top of the course. Danny Hart of England attacks G. Atherton's time. In the upper part, he shows his talent in the jump section and is already 1.5 seconds up. The lead melts away on the flat passages. But in the end, he is almost a second ahead of G. Atherton. Greg Minnaar of South Africa is the second to last rider to have a shot at Danny's time. In the upper third of the course, it does not look good. He is just behind Danny Hart. In the lower part of the track, his superior strength allows him to overcome Hart's time. One more to go. The one that has dominated the season. Aaron Gwin, who has won the last 2 races, will look for number 3. Even a small mistake in the middle section does little to deter him from an impeccable ride to claim his 3rd consecutive victory.
I'm so stoked. I just had a good run going. I kind of made mistakes coming out of the rocks. Kind of like panicked a little, like, oh, you're losing some big time, but I knew the rest of the run was good, so if I could put my head down, I could probably hold it together.
After the 4th event in Mont-Sainte-Anne, Aaron Gwin is building on his lead at the top of the UCI rankings. In 2nd place is Greg Minnaar, followed by G. Atherton. On the next Mountain Bike Chronicles, we travel with the UCI Downhill World Cup to the USA for the 5th race of the season in Windham, New York. Can anyone stop Aaron's winning streak? Marcus Pecol fought his way out of the ski-crazy nation of Austria to the top of the sport. All this and more on the next edition of Mountain Bike Chronicles.